Hello everyone, this is Goosebumps Godzilla with a new Goosebumps themed video about Serpo, the giant, ferocious snake that supposedly lives inside the lake of Camp Slither. So Serpo first appeared, he didn't even appear, he was first mentioned in the Goosebumps Horrorland book number 9, Welcome to Camp Slither. So in this book, he's not really in there, he's just mentioned, and they talk about him in the book. He's this giant snake that eats kids who swim in the lake that he lives in, but he's dismissed as fake, and he really did not exist in the book. But it's such a cool idea of having a giant snake that lives in a camp lake that eats kids. I'm sorry, but that is just so cool. But they did not put that in the book. And I was really disappointed, but that didn't stop me from trying to prove that Serpo is real. So, of course, I had to do some research on the topic of giant animals, kind of like Serpo. And one of the first pieces of evidence I gained was that in Go Eat Worms. So, in Go Eat Worms, there is a giant worm. And so that's pretty much the evidence, is that if there's a giant worm, why not a giant, just giant animals? Why can't there be other giant animals? Kind of like this giant worm. It can't just be a giant worm. Why not more and more and more other animals like that? And plus, another piece of evidence is a bit more scientific. So Serpo is described to be a giant snake that lives in water. And this is the same. This kind of fits the description of an extinct animal called a Titan boa. Not a Titan boa. Did I say? Yeah, it's Titan boa. I'm sorry. Which lived a long time ago. You should see pictures of it. It's a pretty big snake, and it lived inside the water, killed alligators and crocodiles, and was very, very huge. So science does support the fact that Serpo is actually real. And so another little bit of evidence that I found. So this is going to get pretty dark. I'm going to start going into one of the darkest Goosebumps books, in my opinion. The Curse of Camp Cold Lake. So in this book, the main antagonist is this girl tried to run away from camp, but is killed by some snake, some kind of snake, and she haunts the camp and tries to get other people to die and stay with her and become her quote-unquote buddy. So this is another little theory, insider theory, that Camp Slither, did I say Camp Slither this whole time? The camp that Serpo lives in is called Camp Slither, is the same as Camp Cold Lake. First off, they both have a lake. And second off, they both have snakes. And that kind of is a pair that is hard to not to mention. And also, it would make sense that Camp Slither and Camp Cold Lake are the same, because they both kind of have that same set of the tone, of the area. They both seem like very natural places. But the reason they changed names was because in the book, Welcome to Camp Slither, it was revealed that the camp is owned by some people who can turn into snakes. So, obviously, after they were stopped and defeated, people would probably want to change the name and destroy its bad reputation and change the name to Camp Cold Lake. And so that's how Camp Cold Lake became Camp Cold Lake. And so my theory, and also this ghost girl, she, now the evidence to support that Serpo actually played a big role in the curse of Camp Cold Lake, was that it is revealed that this ghost girl in the book was killed by a snake while trying to leave. And she was killed by a snake. She says that, but it never confirms what kind of snake would kill her. Most snakes don't really actively hunt people, unless it's maybe Serpo, quite obviously, since he eats people. And also, just another little bit of evidence is that why was she hanging out in the lake? Why in the world would she hang out in, oh, sorry about that, the lake? I mean, she was killed on the land, so she should stay in the land. Why is she hanging out in the ocean? So that's kind of a weird thing, but it obviously is a little bit of evidence. And also, just for a little cherry on top, as a little bit of evidence that they're both the same camp, is why in the Curse of Camp Cold Lake do they have all these safety rules? I mean, I've been to a camp with a lake in it before, and the really only safety rule out there was wear a life jacket. Why do they have all these safety rules unless they were afraid of some giant snake that actually lived in Camp Cold Lake? Well, that's the end of my theory today. I hope you enjoyed, and please subscribe to my channel. I release Goosebumps theories like this one, I do rankings, and I make Lego stop motion videos. So, that's the end, and I hope you enjoyed.